Daily Helmsman, Josh Vinson, Raven Moore. We're here live at the Athletic Center. Raven, tell us, what has this experience been like so far for you for Media Day?
Well, this is my first Media Day experience, and I've absolutely loved it. It's given me opportunity to do what I love to do. Rather than just seeing these guys at games or like looking at their stats, I'm actually getting a chance to have a conversation with them. And so it's a whole different experience for me, and I'm loving it so far.
What were some of your best interviews thus far?
I think I'd have to say some of my favorites were with quarterback David Moore, definitely Sam Craft, my receiver. Happy he's healthy. I'm really interested to see what he does this year. And I actually had a really good time interviewing linebacker Curtis Akins. It's nice to get some love to the defensive players because you always hear about Memphis offense, how they were the unit to watch. But on defense, they had a phenomenal year. I mean, they had 31 takeaways last year. Nobody talks about that. They were one of the leading teams in the nation, so it's really good to get that defense's perspective. With linebacker Curtis Akins. How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. So I got a couple questions for you. First, which being with Jannard Avery leaving the team, there's not only a lot of production exiting with them, but leadership. How has you guys been working on that as a unit to get that leadership together?
The number one thing how we feel about leadership is accountability, and you gotta be accountable to yourself before you be able to be accountable to somebody else. And Avery, him leaving is a big part, but we can have Jackson Dillon coming back, and everybody know what Jackson Dillon can do.
So do you feel like your role is going to expand more? Do you feel like as arguably the oldest person in that unit, do you think that you can help run and help facilitate some of that leadership?
Absolutely. Like, I do.
Do you feel like your role is going to expand?
My role really going to stay the same, but it still got to expand at the same time because I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing last year.
Have you tried to instill some of your knowledge for being in the team for so long to the younger guys, the younger players who are just coming into the program? I've only been here for a couple of years.
Absolutely. Like the reason I love the young players, they're eager to learn. They really learn this playbook and this defense.
So the defense last year really improved later on towards the back end of the schedule. You got playing a lot of young guys. Do you expect this defense to be one of the best in the country?
I do that. Simple fact, we got a lot of young guys, and what people don't know, we played with 9 freshmen last year, and they have the experience, and they ready to go this year.
The defense performance against UCLA, I know that's last season, but obviously that was the biggest game at the biggest stage in the season. Are you gonna take that, that moment, those experiences, like the game against Houston, and try to get these young guys on the defensive end kind of catch up to see what the intensity level of where we have to bring our A game?
Absolutely. Like how I model now, like we're not focused on in the game except the game, our first game, and just taking the 1-0.
The defensive line obviously going to get a big boost. Jackson Dillon's coming back, really going to pretty much replace Jannard Avery on the outside. Do you expect the defensive line to be better than it is last couple of times? Because the injury to your former teammate here, Jannard Gentry, who's going to chat, and then a couple of other injuries along the defensive line from graduation. Do you expect that defensive line to be a terror when the season starts?
No, sir. I actually think this year, defensive line probably the best since I've been here in 2014 because you have Jackson Dillon on there and just about everybody on defense feed off Jackson Dillon.
And the secondary pretty solid with T.J. Carter, Tito Wyndham. Obviously, got to replace your captain in the secondary. I forgot his name.
Jonathan Cook.
Yeah, Jonathan Cook. We got Josh Perry and J.J. Russell and those guys. Do you expect those guys to kind of just step up their play as well when it gets tough because teams are going to start picking on them because they're the new guys out in the secondary with the lack of experience?
They ready. Going from this summer to the spring, they have improved tremendous. And this year defense, I actually believe probably the best since I've been here.
I actually do have a question. My question to you would be, being on the defense, how potent is this offense? You guys get a chance to play against them all the time in training camp and in practice. How potent is this offense?
2 names, Daryl Henderson and Tony Pollard. Them guys, every single day, you gotta bring it with them guys. And so how I do it, I know our offense, so I can tell them what play they about to run and when they finna run it and how they finna run it. So I just beat them to the point of attack.
Does this make the defense better when you're playing against high potent guys like you just mentioned? Does it make you guys better because now you're going to be ready for the offenses that's going to be thrown at you during the season?
Absolutely. In our conference, we ain't played no running back more physical, versatile, speed-wise than Daryl Henderson and Tony Pollard.
Cool. Appreciate it. Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I'm here with quarterback David Moore. Thank you for coming in today. We really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Excited to be here.
So you were entrenched in one of the top quarterback competitions in the country. So I kind of talked to you a little before about what it's going to take to get the job. But what lessons has quarterback Riley Ferguson instilled in you, like, to get you ready for this season?
Yeah, so Riley, I spent a lot of time with Riley, and he's somebody that I still look up to this day. And I would just say that he really instilled in me a quiet confidence. You know, he wasn't really a big rah-rah guy ever, and whenever he did talk, though, it meant a lot. And I feel like on a team where we have guys like Sam Craft and Jackson Dillon, that it might not be my role to be that vocal guy, and I understand that. I might have been that in high school, but I'm a sophomore right now, so I would just say having quiet confidence and just going about your business and just letting your play speak for itself, you know, that's something that a major thing I learned from him.
David, Coach was talking about the importance of the quarterback competition. How are you approaching that right now?
All right, so I mean, I'm just taking it day by day. We've got two great quarterbacks competing for a spot right now, and the best one's going to play at the end of the day. So whoever handles their business during these practices and whoever is the most consistent is going to get the call, and whoever gets it, I 100% trust Coach Norvell, and everybody around here trusts him to make the right decision. And all I want is for the Memphis Tigers to win games, so I'm going to do whatever I can to make that happen.
What are some steps that you're taking to try to get that starting spot? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, football is about competition. Of course, you came here to possibly be a starter, right? So what are some things that you're doing personally that's saying, hey, I want to make sure by the end of training camp, my number is going to be called?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to be the starter. That's 100% why I came here. And, you know, the talent for me is there. I feel like I'm going to make all the throws. I'm going to have a strong arm. I'm going to be able to escape the pocket and do what I need to do in that regard. But it's the little things really that is going to push me ahead, because that's something that I would say Brady White is really good at. He's really good at the little things, I would say, and then people might say I'm more of just like the talented kid. But I'm going to do my best to work on the little things and, you know, the protections, the ins and outs of the offense, and that's going to be the biggest thing for me.
I know quarterbacks and athletes in general don't like for people to compare them to other people, but what quarterback would you kind of compare yourself to, maybe on the NFL level or whatever, that you could say, hey, this is what my game would be like?
I feel like I'm definitely going to be me, and I'm going to be my own version of myself. But, I mean, if you want to, like, take a look at what you think you might get from me, then I would say somebody like Deshaun Watson, you know, somebody who is a thrower first, but he gets outside the pocket. He can do damage. He's somebody, you know, that I've worked out with multiple times, and a lot of people tell me that we're similar in our game style. So that's somebody that you could look at. But I'm definitely going to be David Moore first.
Outside of just the quarterback position, you guys lost Anthony Miller. He's up there in Chicago now. What are your weapons like this season coming up, you know, with the different wide receivers and people like that? What are your offensive threats looking like this year?
And, you know, that's the great thing about playing quarterback for Memphis this year. Me and Brady White, whoever is the starter, is going to be extremely blessed, because we have a three-head monster at running back. Whoever gets the ball there is going to do ridiculous damage. At receiver, we've got big guys, we've got small guys, we've got guys who can go get it deep, guys who are possession guys under the middle. You know, I look at guys like DeMonte Coxey, I look at guys like Mashane Slade, Kadarian Jones, Antonio Gibson. We have a list, you know, and then you can't forget about Joey and Sean Dykes. We have a lot of options, and we're returning our O-line. So for whoever plays quarterback this year, you know, it's not going to be that hard for us to win games, honestly.
Last question for me. What specifically have your offensive coaches and maybe even Coach Norvell say, hey, you know what, Moore, this is exactly what I want from you. This is what I'm expecting. You want this starter's job. This is what I'm looking for. Right.
And, you know, I have been in contact with them numerous occasions on this sort of thing. And I think just what they want to see out of the whole position group as a whole, specifically me, but is really just trying to control the ups and downs, like, you know, not letting the low get too low if you have a bad day, you know, just be consistent. Really, he preaches consistency. So whoever wins the starting job is the person who was the most consistent.
Cool. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
Tigers are expecting to have a big year this year. Got a lot of guys returning on offense and on defense. Still got to figure out the quarterback play. It's going to come down to David Moore and Brady White. But one of those two guys are going to be the starting quarterback. Obviously, you still got the three-headed monster with Pollard, Henderson, and Taylor in your backfield, and you still got a slew of wide receivers as well that are coming back. And I got Josh here with me.
I agree. I mean, look, we're here. This is the best football program in the state of Tennessee and really in the Mid-South area in general. These guys are already ranked to be the number one team here in the western part of the conference. And Zach, what you were just saying about the three-headed monster, I mean, Pollard looking pretty good out there, man. What do you think about him this season?
Yeah, he's probably between he and Sam Craft, two of them versatile offensive players that they have. Because remember, before Sam Craft got injured, he was the Tony Pollard of that team, doing everything from catching, running, and kickoff returns. So those three guys, I mean, it's going to be a difficult task. And we saw it last year when all three guys were playing, that teams could not stop the different versatile skills that they had on the floor.
Talking about the offense and the whole quarterback, we don't know exactly who's going to be the starter. Raven, you got a chance to talk with the quarterback, one of the quarterbacks anyway. What are your thoughts on?
What I can say I like about talking to David Moore is he was never made about me. He was also very complimentary to a Brady White, who is his competition. You don't really see that in quarterbacks because, usually you hear, oh, they're the divas. But he was really complimentary to both. He spoke on his highlights. He spoke on Brady's highlights, the things he can improve, and vice versa. So I think that in the competition, I think that David Moore is really humble. And it seems like just because of experience, he may be in the league.
But obviously the key to the season is obviously, running backs and those three-headed running backs, the offensive line play, and also the quarterbacks not making the big turnover. Because last year, Riley was the, you can kind of live with the turnover because he has the big arm to kind of get you down the field a little bit. With David Moore and with Brady White, you don't really know exactly what you're going to get. But hopefully,
looking forward to it, yeah.
But hopefully when they get on the field, they can just limit the turnovers, and the offensive line and the running backs and the receivers can just take them the rest of the way.
Cool. Well, we're going to get back in the interviewing room and see who are the next guys coming into the room. But yeah, Raven Moore, Zach, Daily Helmsman, we are live here on the scene, reporting live from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm Josh Vinson. Back to you guys in the studio.
I'm with wide receiver and special teams ace, Tony Pollard. How you doing today, Tony?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I got a two-part question for you. The first part being, with Anthony Miller gone, that leaves a huge opportunity for players to step up to the leading receiver role, and Coach Norvell thinks that you have the opportunity to be that leading receiver. What does that confidence mean for you?
I mean, it just showed that he trusts me and, believes in my talent. With Anthony Miller being gone, that was a big playmaker for us. And, the fact that he thinks I'm able to step up and fill those shoes, it shows how much trust he has in me.
All right, so moving on to that second part, how has the team been adjusting with the quarterback competition? I mean, for the last couple of years, you had Riley Ferguson throwing you the ball, and now you have some of that inconsistency. You don't really know who's going to be your quarterback. So what does that mean for the team?
I mean, it's just a battle. It's a competition. Nothing's given to you. So both guys coming in expecting to work. No telling who will get the starting job right now, but for count, we'll find out.
All right, so you have been highly regarded as one of the best special teamers in the country. What does that mean for you?
It just shows, the hard work that we put in, in the summertime through the winter workouts, all things that people don't see. It just shows that it's paying off. People are actually recognizing the hard work that goes into it.
So have the coaches put more of an emphasis on your special teams work than you as a receiver, or do they want you to be equal opportunity?
I mean, it's really equal because, special teams is just as important as offense as defense. So, that's how we handle our business around here. Everything is just as equal.
All right, moving on to my partner, Joshua Vinson, with his question.
I got a chance to talk to Anthony in Chicago at training camp. He was talking about how great these wide receivers are here in Memphis. What are some things that maybe he told you getting ready to come into this season for you guys to get ready prepared for this coming season?
I mean, just nothing. Don't try to do anything too spectacular. Just be yourself. Stay true to you. Be the player that you know you can be. Don't try to do anything to reach up to the next person's expectations. Be you. It's really about it.
When you guys are walking into this training camp, not necessarily knowing exactly who's going to be your starter quarterback, is it a little difficult being a wide receiver? Because you guys have to have that camaraderie and that chemistry with a quarterback, but now you got two people that's throwing it to you. How do you kind of decipher, okay, well, this is what's happening, and not allow that to mess up your game?
I mean, it's a bit different having two different quarterbacks, but, I think we've done a good job, overall, the receiving core, just catching with both of them, in our spare time, coming up here running routes with the quarterback, getting our timing down right, getting ready for the season.
This is a trick question. Is there a preference that you have as far as who's going to be your starting quarterback?
I really don't, because both of them are good players. So.
All right, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Zack Boyd, Sports Desk. So you're 2 touched kickoff returns shy from the record. Is that going to be on your mind when you try to take one to the house every single game?
Most definitely. It's just one more now I tie the record, 2 more I had a record. So, whenever they kick it off, I'm looking forward to breaking that.
I am with wide receiver Sam Craft. Thank you so much for coming here.
No problem, no
Appreciate
problem.
it. So I got a few questions to ask, and I'll turn it over to my other colleagues. But first of which, doesn't it feel good to be back to football? Right now, you're healthy, and you get to finally get on the field. You literally a month away to getting ready back on the game.
Oh man, I'm very excited. Football season is always a fun season. Being able to be healthy again and give it another shot is always good too.
As a member of this team, Anthony Miller is gone, so the wide receiver group, they don't have a solidified star, but everyone's looking towards you to finally have that really impact season after coming back from injury. So how do you feel knowing you have that vote of confidence from your teammates, believing that you can complete?
Oh man, it's a great feeling because it's been a long time coming. I feel like we've been hurt these past 2 seasons. I just want to come in and try to make those plays for them and to try to lead us the best way I can.
So is it kind of different rather than having Riley Ferguson throw it to you or Paxton Lynch, who you had extensive time with, to being in a quarterback competition where you have these 2 younger guys who are vying for that? How is it different?
It's I'm not gonna say it's different because both guys are still good. It's not a drop off, and I feel like as a receiver you're still doing the same things. Obviously you get kind of used to a certain quarterbacks throwing the same ball, but it's not too much big of a difference because, at the end of the day, you still have to catch it.
Yeah, I understand. All right, so final question for me. What are your expectations for this season? What are your goals? What do you want to achieve by the time this season ends?
Just have the best season I had since I've been here. Try to set personal records for myself to outdo certain things that I've done in the past and be able to lead the team in a way that'll help us win more games and be able to finish on the win instead of a loss in the bowl.
All right, thank you so much. I'm passing it over to my colleague and editor, Joshua Vinson.
What's up? You come on up, bro. You stay on. How you doing today? Again,
right.
Josh, nice to meet you.
You too.
What is it like? I guess you have these 2 quarterbacks. They're battling for the quarterback spot. Tell us a little bit. What's the differences between their 2 games from the wide receiver perspective?
Well, David Moore, he's a more athletic quarterback than Brady White is. He's able to create with his feet, get on the edge and run and make throws on the run. Brady, he's more of a pocket quarterback who can kind of sit back and pick defenses apart. He's a smart guy. He has a nice arm. So those 2 they both have great qualities. Just got to see who's gonna win out.
So I know that you mentioned that it's not like it's a drop off or anything like that, but as a wide receiver, you got to have that continuity, that chemistry with the guys. Is that a little disadvantage for you guys, the wide receivers, that one day you got Moore throwing to you, next day you got Brady throwing to you, trying to figure out these guys so it's not knocking you guys off your game?
It can, but then at the same time it's not. The way we practice, you get so many reps, so you're able to go and practice with both of them every day. So. That deal there is too much not of a problem, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've been on the offense. How good is this defense? You guys, we always talk about offense, but you guys play against this defense.
Mm-hmm.
We just asked cornerback a moment ago, hey, do you feel like this is going to be one of the best defenses in the country? And he was like, yeah, for sure. How has this defense been for you guys playing against them or getting ready to play?
Man, they gonna be great. Like you said, it's gonna be one of the best defenses in the country. I have a lot of guys who has experience back there in the secondary, even in the linebacker spot and D-line. So I feel like we finally have pieces that connect in every spot on the defense. And we have a lot of exciting and playmaking guys who's able to cause fumbles, get pressures on the quarterback, catch interceptions. So I feel like we had a whole total package.
And last question for me, you've been here for some years. How has this been just watching this program just kind of really develop in front of you guys' eyes? You look at everybody talk about basketball and Penny Hardaway, but they have a lot to prove. You guys have proven it already that this is the best football program in the state.
Just stay in our lane. Just being able to come in and work hard every day. Use it as a motivation to, because coming in, my freshman year was 3-9. Which is not a good feeling. So since then on, we tried to change our mindset to to a winning program and do the little things that would help us win games.
Is it still kind of surreal? I mean, looking how the fan base grown, the media attention has grown. I mean, you mentioned 3-9 to going to 10 games, winning last year. Pretty big difference.
Yeah, can't call it surreal because that's the vision that we set out to get. We just trying to take our time and get there the way the way it's supposed to be done. I'm just glad that we was able to do it within this time while I was here. I'm glad I was able to be a part of it.
Go, appreciate it. Zach, you got any questions?
Yeah, Zack Boyd. So you missed both seasons due to injury. How healthy are you feeling, by the way?
I feel great. I just got cleared, so yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right. So last couple of seasons, like I said, injuries kind of derailed your season early, and you kind of had a front row seat of watching both last year, both teams from those different years make big moments in the season without you. What was your thought process throughout that entire both of those seasons while you was getting rehab and trying to work your way back on the field?
Oh man, well the first year, the only thing I was thinking about was just, really I was thinking about the next year, just trying to get through this season, and get ready for the next season. But last year, once I was, the season coming to an end, I was more or less thinking like, was I coming back or not? It got to that point, but it was just hard sitting back watching them and not being able to play. But it's just another stepping stone I had to get over.
So people are, well, not just people, but you're just a forgotten man in this entire team because the trio of running backs that the team has with Henderson, Pollard, and Taylor really stepped up their game the last 2 seasons. What can you offer to this team that can push them to another level that they haven't had the last 2 seasons?
Man, just coming in, just playing my game. I feel like my talent level would take care of itself once I'm on the field. It's hard to sit here and kind of just say exactly what I do, but just make plays and just play hard.
What are some of the things that you're eating now that is keeping you?
I eat a lot of spinach, fish, baked chicken. I try to eat something green every day. Pasta. Just stuff like that, man. I try to stay away from the fried food and a lot of the grease and stuff like that.
On a serious note, like when you eating clean like that, can you tell the difference in your body and you performing? Like, do you feel more healthy?
You feel it because a lot of times, man, the stuff that you eat kind of makes you feel sluggish and not. I guess you can say get the energy back that you're supposed to get back.
Okay.
So, yeah. I feel the difference because there was a time I was eating fast food and chicken and fried chicken and all that type of stuff.
Right. Well, she's talking about making some yams and everything. All right.
Ain't no wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. I still go home.
I feel it. I'm glad you taught us that. Okay, cool. So now we know healthy eating. You can get healthy, and you can be a part of a great football team. Appreciate it, bro.
Man.
Good afternoon. We are reporting here in the athletic building. I'm Joshua Vinson alongside Zack Boyd and Raven Moore here at Media Day. Raven, what were some of your thoughts for Media Day thus far?
Some things that I really took note of was how humble David Moore was. Even though he's entrenched in a really tough quarterback competition, he was still able to highlight his positives as well as Brady White, so that was really commendable. Also, getting a chance to talk to linebacker Curtis Akins was a big thing because when you look at Memphis football, you always think about offense, but not the defense that was so good last year, one of the top teams in takeaway. So it was nice hearing about that physicality. 2 of my favorite interviews.
Zach, you got a chance to interview a lot of people as well. What are some of your outlooks for this coming season with the interviews with the guys that you did?
Well, the thing is, like Raven said, the defense is going to be a key part because like for some strange reason, over different seasons, we never had a chance to see the offense being really great and the defense being really great as well. So we might get a chance to see that this upcoming year. If the defense can continue its level of play and keep ascending up in the nation, then the offense just kind of middle around the teens, late 20s, just slowly just move the ball up the field. But obviously, slow is not an option here at the University of Memphis.
Oh, cool. Well, hey, what my favorite thing is the fact that we have 2 great programs on both sides, football and basketball, and that's going to be one thing great. Stay right here with the Daily Helmsman. We have podcasts coming up, video interviews, everything. We're covering every game in basketball and football on the road and here at home. But as for now, reporting live here in Memphis, Tennessee for Raven Moore and Zack Boyd, I'm Joshua Vinson. Back to you guys in the studio.